Organizations win championships. A Chicago Bulls podcast with Jason and Dan Bernstein on 312 Sports.
Welcome to it. It's the OWC, Organizations Win Championships on 312 Sports, episode 117. Dan Bernstein, Jason Bernstein, and we're in the double Jason formation because the one in the middle, the man in the middle, needs no introduction. I'm going to give him one anyway, just to say I can't necessarily speak for my partner, but Bulls games aren't quite the same without that little subversive crackle, that wink and that grin that tells us that it's just basketball. It tells us that we know what's going on out there, and I miss it. So I hope things are good in your world because my little Bulls basketball TV world isn't quite the same.
Yeah, I miss it too, man. And it's good to be with you guys. Thank you for having me. But yeah, I miss it as well. I was looking forward to what was to come in terms of, Modest and some of these cats who are growing up right in front of us. But yeah, I had a good 6-year run. We had a ball. It was something that I never anticipated doing. And one day Kevin Cross hit me up. It's like, hey, you want to do this? I'm like, okay, if you're willing to get fired. and we had ourselves a good time. Shout out to Cross for believing in me and all this other stuff. And then Kendall Gill and Will Perdue, those guys were, I won't say stuck in their ways, but you have a show for a certain amount of time, and then somebody gets dropped in. They got to kind of prove themselves. And those first couple of years where I'm going back and forth with getting emails from the Bulls about what I was saying, this, that, and the other, and then it kind of settled into the point where it's like, oh, I'll just let Billy talk about everything that's going on the court that isn't up to standard, up to snuff. So it was a fun ride. We had a good time. DB, and he is one of those cats who people need to know how important he is. So I'm glad you mentioned it as much as you do. But yeah, I miss it. But now I get a chance to be at home a little bit more with the kids and, on to these other ventures. But I'm still keeping my eyes on it, if not watching pre and post and halftime.
What are you seeing? What are you seeing in this team that right now is number 2 in the East at 5-1? They're they're 5th out of 30 in offensive rating. They're 14th in defensive rating with a net of plus 5.3, 7th in the NBA in net rating, and playing a brand of basketball that certainly keeps you watching. It's hard to tell who's out there all the time, and the cool thing is it hasn't mattered all that much who's been out there because with Josh Giddy and pace, they're overwhelming opponents.
So what's going on in Memphis right now on the wrong side of things with Ja and his new coach is what's happening around the NBA that a lot of people aren't talking about it. The substitution patterns in the NBA over the last couple of years, they've changed, and the intensity that these guys want their players to go, it's kind of like hockey shifts now, where you're out there for a shorter amount of time and you got to build chemistry with cats who you haven't played with. Well, last couple of years, what has Billy Donovan done? He's thrown 10, 11 guys out there at night. So they've already built a certain level of trust and understanding people's weaknesses. And also, there's another thing that's happening in the league that I appreciate from the playoffs. They said, hey, we're not going to really get after you on the perimeter defensively in terms of physicality, right? You saw that in the postseason and how much it shook teams up. This year, teams are pressing, and the Bulls have a couple of dudes who can press, right? Trey Jones can press, Ayo Dosunmu can press. Next thing you know, fourth quarter guys are worn down. These point guards who have these high usage rates higher than ever, right? You got like 15, 20 guys who before would just be, set the offense up and go stand in the corner, cats who have the ball at all times. So the Bulls are kind of using some science on their side, some analytics on their side, whereas push the pace, shorter substitution patterns, and you don't have a dude, right? Like, difference from Memphis and the Bulls they got a dude who's like, wait a minute, all this subbing me out and not playing in certain positions and not playing in certain portions of the game, that's not happening with the Bulls because they don't have that guy, right? They don't have to worry about Zach appeasing him anymore. They don't have to worry about appeasing DeMar anymore. Not in a bad way. It's just when you got to lead dogs, you got to lead dogs. They got a bunch of guys now who are on the clock contract wise, and one dude who just came off the clock, and Josh Giddy, who's happy to be getting 100 mil. So there's a different level of understanding with where this team is chemistry wise and also player wise. Kobe White has been out, and their defense has been, I think, it's shown to be better when he's not on the court, but also
100%.
at the end of the games, who's going to hit the shot, who's going to make the shot. Like I love this many different scores in the first 5 or 6 ball games, but we all know in the end that roles have to be defined. When Kobe comes back, he's going to be the guy that goes and gets a shot in the fourth quarter. So I'm looking forward to seeing how, not only against this Philadelphia team that they got coming up, because Tyrese and VJ and Jared McCain is coming back. Like they're gonna put them through it. Like the Bulls have a very cool way that they play with a bunch of really good, hardworking dudes. Now, after that first punch has been thrown, people aren't going to be surprised by what they do. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they kind of adjust over this next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I was going to say something about the rotations because it almost reminds me of college basketball when coaches are throwing out guys within 5 minutes of the tip-off. And that reminds me of watching a lot of college ball. I mean, I covered a game last night, and I watch it throughout the season. And now, especially with the transfer portal in college ball, it's the same thing where you're trying to get to know new guys, and especially with this Bulls team. I mean, a lot of the guys came at the deadline last year, such as Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and Zach Collins has been out. We haven't been talking about him a lot, and he's arguably their best rim protector on the roster. And I think that, and I know that because of the goaltending against Northwestern in that tournament, but it reminds me.
That's right. That was Zach Collins, wasn't it?
With Jim Phillips' kid, right?
Wow, great call.
Yeah. And it's interesting to see how often they're subbing guys on and taking them off the court. And it's really cool to see how they've been working together. And man, speaking of VJ Edgecombe, he's a dog, and I just hate that he's a full year younger than I am.
Do you think, Jay? Do you think that Patrick Williams can earn his starting job back?
Which one of us are you talking to?
Goff. I talk to you all the time. I don't need to know what you think. The idea of Williams in the second unit is great, and somehow he's jumping. He's actually jumping and running, and
still missed the dunk the other night, though.
He did. He has to. It's his signature. He's got it sponsored. I think he's got a donut where he can't quite get it in the cup of coffee. But I do like
Stacey
the fact.
Disappointed.
I like what he can do spacing wise, and if he's able to defend a big and help out near the basket a little bit, he's just a better basketball player than Isaac Okoro. And unfortunately, every time the Bulls get into their ball rotation, no one's guarding Okoro. They don't want to guard Okoro. I figured out who Okoro is. He is the reincarnation of Keith Bogans. Somehow, if you remember the Keith Bogans role on the good Bulls, that he was a guy and he was okay defensively and he was responsible enough, but you just didn't mind when they put him on the bench.
Get him up out of there. Yeah, get him up out of there.
I remember. I don't know if it's fair or unfair to make a Bogans comp. He's Keith Bogans. So
shout out to Keith.
Yeah. Is he
shout out? I guess we just crapped on you for a good 3 minutes.
Yeah, you're mad, but shout out to you.
Shout out to Keith. He's that dude.
But is Williams a starter or not?
No. Only because he doesn't behave like one. Sometimes you gotta believe when guys are telling you what they are. And if Patrick's the dude that's gonna come in and give you that, Patrick's in the game vibe instead of where's Patrick? Right? Like that's what it's been for 4 years, where it's like, where's Patrick? Like he should be impacting this thing a little bit more. The issues that I have had with Patrick Williams that hopefully got remedied this year, the body and all those things that he's naturally gifted with, I just didn't see the skill work. Like I didn't see over 3 or 4 years him get better at any discernible marketable NBA trait, right? Whether it be, oh, he's got this in his game. He's got, like when people showed me his 3-point numbers, and he's like, okay, well, he's taking 1.6 a game because he can't get them off. Like he can't, the release it wasn't as fast as it needed to be. All right, well, should he rebound more? Well, guess what? You gotta, that body is cool, but you gotta improve on that body then. I think Patrick has had so many different lanes that he could go, and I don't know which one he ever picked in terms of, okay, my handle's got to be tighter. Like Kobe, the league told Kobe, you put that shit on the floor these first couple of years, you're gonna take it. And then after that, he got tighter. Johnny dribbled too much, and all these other people that he hired. The skill work that I was hoping to see, and that you hope from a guy like Patrick, because Patrick is a good dude, right? But it didn't come to fruition the way that you would like for it to before you had to pay him. And then after you pay him, it's like, all right, well, the ticket is the ticket. So now how do you make this thing work? I think Modest coming in and immediately putting the flag like, all right, I'm gonna stop playing around. Because I'm sorry, man. We talked to Thad Young, uh, Patrick's first year in the league, and Thaddeus Young
Yeah.
was like, hey, he pulled him to the side one time in the lunch line, was like, hey, nobody literally should be eating before you on a team that had the fourth pick in the draft. Like you should be asserting yourself. You should be out here taking jobs. And for 3 or 4 years, he heard that from a different veteran. And it
Hmm.
took a younger dude to come in and say, all right, I'm not waiting on anybody. We saw it in Summer League with Modest. Modest was dunking on people and screaming on people in Summer League. Like, all right, this dude is built a little bit different when he slid in the draft, because I don't think a lot of people trusted the competition he was playing in his first, I'm sorry, his year before his first professional year. Patrick is Patrick is a solid player, man. And the more you look at the NBA draft is the minor league draft, minor league baseball draft, where it's like, all right, after a certain number of picks, we throw
Yeah,
and
look
shoot the
at
ball
what they're
here.
doing with Asenge. Now, I mean, Asenge is a
Yeah, yeah,
developmental player who is going to
that's it.
have to learn how to run pick and roll with the ball in his hands. He's going to have to learn the entire NBA ball screen game at both of those positions, and he can't do it with the minutes he's getting.
And they
Yeah,
threw him
and
in the
that's
G
it.
League for that reason. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and by the way, by the time he cut, like, I don't know if y'all are watching, and get into some real nerd basketball shit here,
This
but
is the place to do it.
the pick
Go
and
ahead.
roll, the pick and roll is I love the fact that styles are coming back in music, in movies, in basketball, in football as well. It's like, all right, everybody want to be light in the ass. We're gonna beat your ass with this run game, right? You see teams
Mhm.
doing that in the NFL. What's happening in the NBA right now is everybody doesn't have that pick and roll maestro. Like there's a lot more Alonzo Balls out there than there are D'Angelo Russells. Whereas like it's certain dudes who are just put together in a basketball lab to run pick and roll offense. And then there's certain cats who just want to get out and run. You look at what the Miami Heat are doing. Like Noah Senge is very, very interesting to me because this is what a 6'9", 6'10" dude who's a buck 95, 200 pounds. So what are you going to do with him in any real pick and roll situation until his jump shot comes to whatever level that it needs to come to? And I don't know in the long run if he's even slated to be some kind of pick and fade, pick and pop guy. And then if you talking about getting into pick and roll initiation, it's 6'9" and doesn't have the tightest handle. Like I think you're finding now that so many coaches in the league are looking at the players that don't play the kind of game that they have been asked to coach. Eric Spoelstra, they run two, three plays a game. If you watch the Miami Heat now, and with Victor Wembanyama and with a lot of double big lineups coming back out here, I think the pick and roll game is. I won't say it's going to go by the wayside, but I think we're going to see a drastic decrease in how many pick and rolls people are actually putting teams into because of one, how long it takes these days, and two, I mean, in the end, you got dudes opening the wrong way. Like the pick and roll fundamentals just aren't there. People just running it and wasting offensive possession. So, but yeah, you were talking about the same game, Patrick Williams, and I kind of veered off there. But yeah, man, P. Will, I'm happy for him. I'm happy he's playing well, and it seems like he's in a space where like certain guys don't want all that smoke. And it's not in a bad way. It's not like, you calling them out to be not tough. It's just the starting line veterans who are proving something was just not his vibe, right? He's not going to ask Zach LaVine to give him the ball. He's not going to ask DeMar DeRozan to give him the ball. And then you look around and everybody's your age when those guys get cleared out and they've established themselves. Madison's established himself on his team. Kobe has established himself on his team. When Vooch goes, there's going to be somebody they replace him with, and that person's going to assert himself. So I think Patrick's one of those cats who, he comes in handy, in a friend group, right? But you're not counting on him to lead the way. You feel me?
Yeah, that's worth $19 million on a good team.
Hey, if he can defend, knock down a couple of shots, 19 is not what it used to be.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Not what it used to be.
18, I think. But also, I'm just glad you didn't, when you mentioned Noah Senge in Summer League, because you mentioned Modest as well, I'm just glad you didn't bring up that Australian dude from Indiana just absolutely yamming on him. That picture might be the
Mr.
worst.
Furphy.
Johnny Furphy.
Johnny Furphy.
I didn't know he could do that. I'm not saying Senge
he's
got
nasty.
dunked on. But that let me just pull some like Chris Collinsworth or Troy Aikman bullshit and say it's sneaky athletic.
No, white dudes, that shit is out the window, man. Like,
yeah, with
white
Modest
chicks
now,
got
too.
ass. White chicks got ass. White dudes can jump. Like, this is a different world we live in these days, man. You know what I mean?
Well, I can't make hide nor hair of it. I am not a crackpot, but I'm writing a letter to the editor to say I don't understand things anymore.
Yeah, no, Johnny Furphy. Only thing Johnny Furphy has issues with is the old bounce pass and defense. He's got issues when it comes to identifying. Like, he is what a lot of, because I was talking to this dude who's on the Thunder staff the other day, and I actually brought up Johnny Furphy just messing around with him. He goes, "You know what we call guys like that?" When I watch him on tape, I was like, "What?" He goes, "We call him the most important guy on the defensive end." I'm like, "Oh, tell me more." He goes, "Yeah. We found that guy. He's called the MIG in every offensive set." And I've heard this from Boylan and other cats I've been around in these last couple of years.
Don't quote Boylan.
This person actually explained it in a real.
Don't quote Boylan on this
staff.
show.
He's on that staff. Yeah, most important guys where you just go, okay, we're gonna make his life hell for the next 3 or 4 possessions and have him go take a seat next to.
Well, that was Josh Giddey. That was Josh Giddey for a long time. The guy you attack, the guy that he's out there. It's like immediately you'd see the coach jump up, and whatever position he's playing, he's going 3 or 4 or whatever it is. I will say that Giddey still. He doesn't quite get in a defensive stance the way I want, but he'll bend. He's bending his knees a little, and at least he understands his length and he understands his size, and some of his closeouts under control. If there's no excuse to not face guard, just go up and get a hand up, do something. The effort has not been horrible to this point.
Yeah. Him and Kobe are the dudes who you look at and go, they tried. Right? Like, trying as opposed to not trying is a huge difference. You see cats who are really good defenders who don't try to the fourth quarter when they know the lights are on them. I think Josh did some sneaky good things this offseason too. Like, he came back stronger. I don't know, like he is penetrating in a way where it's not just a probe anymore. That cat's getting to the line like 6-7 times a game in the first 5-6 games of the season, right? So he's doing things a little bit differently. Josh Giddey is so interesting to me because there's certain cats who you feel like, all right, if this team gave up on him, then aren't they telling you something? And he was that dude at the end of that Oklahoma City Thunder bench where it's like, all right, we got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, we got the other cats that we running with. You are an afterthought here. And the jump shot and all the other stuff that was surrounding his name and the defense, you're like, all right, we can forget about Josh Giddey. He could just be another, a lottery bust. And then you look up and he's only 22, 23. He's got all these triple doubles. By the way, Stacy, my man, 50 grand. He started the Knicks Bulls game the other night by saying this is the guy who's going to lead the league in triple doubles. And I'm like, who
I
shot
heard it.
Nikola Jokic? Like,
Right.
Did Nikola Jokic
Wemby.
die?
Or Giannis. I mean,
Wemby's going to get quadruple doubles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I heard that same thing, and I kind of thought that's
Could he be
one
top 10?
That's one you want back.
I think he could be top 10.
Yeah.
That's one you probably
Yeah,
want
but
back.
come on, man. As long as Wemby and Giannis and all these other cats out here doing big
Luka?
business now. But Josh, Luka, Luka is you know, I know how people feel now because I felt the way about James Harden when he had his Houston run in the beginning that I feel now about Luca, where it's like, hey, do you know what we're witnessing here? And people, don't like the style of play. People don't like how he's talking all crazy to the refs all the time. People don't like how he's bitching all the time. But like every once in a while, you gotta zoom out and realize there's some different shit happening. And with that
Yeah.
dude, I don't care how you feel about it. Like the Lakers. Well, first of all, LeBron James is making a bad bet right now because this whole sciatica thing is just him looking at the Lakers organization saying, "Screw y'all! You gave this team to Luca and the White Boys, which is my favorite, band, ska
Well,
punk band."
don't tell Austin Reeves that he's not the star. Don't tell
Yeah,
him
and also,
that.
Anthony Edwards, who's number 12 in a game where Jake LaRavia dropped 27 effing points?
The
And then he
crowd
captioned
saying-
his Instagram post, who's number 12?
and the crowd saying, "Who's this 12 guy?" And it's like, I
You're
don't
like,
know.
that's what I'm saying.
Nah, man. Austin Reeves is nasty. He's definitely one of those cats who got out to LA and got with the right people and felt himself. And then next thing you got yourself a Tyler Hero kind of situation where it's like, all right, brother, you can get away with this for a little while. Like Austin, the league that's why this gambling shit is so ill-timed because the first week of the league, everybody was on crack.
They had 550 burgers.
Aaron Gordon.
Right. You got motherfucking Wemby is out here being an extraterrestrial. Luca has put up 40 a game. Like the Bulls are 5-0. Like all this shit is happening. Meanwhile, you showing me Damon Jones and Chauncey Billups' dad getting perp walked. I'm like, you see what's happening out here? Like
Terry
this
Rozier.
shit. Yeah, well, shout out to Scary Terry. We always knew something bad was gonna happen in the end there. Like, let's keep it a buck. Like,
Hold on. That's one of my guys' That's one of my guys' guys. So we can't say too much. RJ Hunter is really close with Terry, so we don't want to say too much about that.
I rock with Terry, but hey, the jig is up. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain cats
Look, here's the thing, though. Pay your taxes. This is what I don't understand. Who thinks of taxes as optional?
negotiable.
They're not optional. This isn't something you just decide to not do. I don't care whether you like the government or don't like the government. You can't just be like, I don't think I'm going to pay my taxes. I don't want to. I'm a sovereign citizen. I don't have to. These laws don't apply to me.
The sovereign
come
citizen
on.
dudes who get pulled over, like, no,
Right.
sir, read this piece of paper that says I can speed it without a license.
Right, your laws do not apply to me. Well, why don't you come with me for a second and we'll work it out while you're in the cell for a while. But
Nah, Uncle Sam wants his.
pay your taxes, man. Jeez.
Yeah, nah. Scary Terry, he's one of those cats where you're like, if it wasn't for hooping, I'm just happy the brother was able to make that much money, to be honest with you, because they got him in a bind.
Jason, what do you think
What's
the
that?
impact of Wes Unseld Jr. has been? I keep hearing people say, hey, this Wes Unseld Jr., that was a great hire. And I wonder, do you agree? And if so, why and how?
So I was one of the dudes who thought the first go around when it was Steven Silas and him and Billy Donovan, like when they were looking for a new coach, I thought he might be the guy that was tabbed to be the next Bulls head coach. He is one of those cats who can explain, relay, and make people execute defense in a way that very few dudes do in the NBA, where it's like, hey, man, you can either do it or not, and it's gonna come out. Like, yeah, I ain't gonna yell at you. I'm not gonna berate you. We ain't gonna have a standoff. You know what I mean? Like, Mo Cheeks, cool as the fan. Like, I enjoy being around Mo Cheeks. There's too many NBA players who have stories of not getting along with Mo Cheeks, and it's just though there are certain guys who come across like, yo, I've been here, I've done this. If you don't do what I say, then to hell with you. And I'm not saying Mo was like that, but that's what the opposite of what I hear Wes Unseld Jr. is. He's just straight shooter, has fun with you, but when it's time to work, it's time to work. And you also got a crew of really like this is where having I won't say choir boys, but this is where having the good guys in the locker room pays off, right?
Mhm.
Whereas like, all right, nobody in this locker room is going to tell the coach, F off, right? Like nobody, and Wes comes with that kind of, that understanding of how to talk to some of these younger cats as well. So now he's one of those, and he's not one of these dudes who's trying to steal your gig. There's always two dudes on an NBA bench who are like,
Mhm.
I was over there drawing up all this shit, but really politics, those kind of cats.
That's why I always resented Boylan. That's why, and Boylan, the backstabbing and the cozying up to
I thought you said you
ownership.
didn't want to talk about him.
I don't.
So then stop spending a segment talking about Jim Boylan.
Fine.
He wants
Yeah,
to
we
talk
don't need
about him.
that.
No,
We don't need that.
You're
And
right.
his app. remember Jim's app? Jim had
Remember
an
what
app.
a cephalophoid?
Well, yeah. Well, there's the punch clock. I remember.
And the
Everybody had to.
cephalophoid.
Yes, he called Chris Dunn.
Because he's an octopus.
But yes, he called him right with the gills, the blink.
Also
sideways.
challenged the entire team to push-ups in Milwaukee one time. Center court.
Was Ersan Ilyasova there?
Don't.
seen the-
That's a name you can't say either.
I'm just trolling now.
Dude, yes, you are. See, I do think that the respect. I challenge them to push-ups.
I mean, it's better than Ron A. It's better than
Well, if you challenge them to naked push-ups, that's different. But see, if I'm an NBA player and the coach is challenging players to push-ups, mine would be the Tony Dawson response. Coach, it's gonna rain in this motherfucker before I run.
Actually, I thought you were gonna go with the Darren Williams because Darren Williams said that to Avery Johnson. The year Avery Johnson got Coach of the Year, said my guy Sam Mitchell was on the the staff, and Avery asked Darren to hurry up and go get taped up so they could practice, and Darren wasn't having it, and Darren came out there with no shoes and said it's gonna rain in this bitch before I practice. So I'm glad to see generation to generation has been handed down.
There it is.
And I'm looking forward to John Morant continuing that.
And your guy Avery, as a broadcaster, that is right where he should be. He should be right there calling games with his enthusiasm, his voice. I love him. It's perfect.
Nah, Avery's good people, man. The NBA life is not for everybody on the coaching side of things, man. So
let me also get you mentioned Modest before. Everybody is all over the map when it comes to Modest's ceiling. And there are some days where I watch him and I picture his grown-up body, his man body. And I'm thinking, there's a real player in there. And is he a fringe all-star? Could he be a more like a better ball handling version of Lauri Markkanen?
Ooh. Lowry had a thicker base. Obviously Lowry can stroke that thing.
I know he can, but he can't block shots. Like Modest has a nice knack for timing.
Oh, for sure.
There's some things there. I don't know if he's ever going to be able to shoot as purely like that, but I'm just looking at size and if he could thicken up.
That's why I've said Pascal Siakam. That is why I've said Pascal Siakam.
Well, he's not as OC as Pascal. Pascal's got a lot of shit going on with the herky jerky. Like the thing I like the most about Modest is he as soon as he gets his way around the league where people, all right, we got to start calling this. His rip through. Speaking to James Harden, he does things that when you're watching basketball. All right, he saw somebody do that. And he's trying to perfect it, and he's
did it on DeMar.
I was going to say he probably saw DeMar do it.
But he switched hands in the middle of that layup too.
And that's the thing too. Like he's freaky. Like Modest has every, and I'm so happy about it because finally you get a dude who's NBA size, who we're talking about being the best player on your team at some point, as opposed to 6'4" and under, 6'5" and under, or 6'6" and 185 pounds soaking wet in your 11th year. It's like, what the hell you've been walking past the weight room for a decade now? Like, you can't put some weight on? Like, and I'm not speaking of anybody in particular, but it's like, come on, fam. Like, there's more to being a pro than just coming out here and putting up points. And I think Modest has that umph to him too. Like, he says all the right things, but there is a level of disrespect that he has for anybody who's trying to guard him that I truly appreciate, that like the competitive cats do. He doesn't believe that you should be able to guard him. And I think it started, you go back to last year against the Lakers in LA. I think it started there where he's like, "Oh shit, I'm on the court with LeBron James, and there's a couple of possessions where
And
he
Luca.
went at, yeah, but more specifically LeBron,
Yeah.
because him going at LeBron, means something different. Luca, everybody, hey, turnstile. We saw what happened that last Dallas finals. Hopefully things change. You probably gonna have to put four real defenders around him. But him going at LeBron a couple of years ago really showed me, okay, this dude he doesn't think like the normal young player where it's like, "Oh, I'm going to take my time." He says those things, right? But out there, I think there's a lot more assertiveness and a lot more assuredness in his game. And he's got tricks and he's got things that if his ball handling, when his ball handling gets cleaned up, because it's decent now. But when
Hmm.
his ball handling gets cleaned up, he's going to be able to do whatever he wants. Then they're going to tell him to shoot the jump shot. And then the NBA defense is going to be like, "All right, you got to knock down some shots because you ain't bringing that shit in here and dunking on me." So I'm looking forward to seeing the progression of it. I definitely think he could be an all-star. But I mean, and right now in the NBA, there's so many guys who that phrase that we used to use, we used to talk about all the time, like best player on the champion. There's a bunch of Hall of Famers running around right now who won't sniff a championship, right? Because of the third apron and all the other things, second apron and all the other things that are happening in the league economically. So you just got to be. You just got to be a big two, little six. You know what I mean? And if he could be one of your big two, then cool. Then you going. I feel like he could be like a 22 point per game guy. A more athletic Franz Wagner. Although that Orlando thing is a little dicey because they got two dudes
They
who
need shooting. They
yeah.
they they,
Well, you know what
they
they need?
really
They
need
need they
shooting.
need their best player to stop shooting.
True.
Interesting.
Paolo Banchero.
He takes too many threes. He settles, and there will
Okay.
be possessions where he'll just go to the basket and just say, "Get off me," and get an easy 2 points. And I'm not saying shooting threes is bad. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great, but I
When the right
think he
guys
needs to
do it,
rely
though.
more on that. Yeah, he
When the
needs to
right
rely
guys do it.
right.
If you look at his numbers over the last couple of years, he's getting to that weird Josh Smith territory where if you see how much they're
There is
begging,
there is no other Josh Smith
right,
territory
right,
other than
right. So
weird.
NBA Jam legend.
Yeah.
well, if you look at it, look at his shot charts. There are very few players who get the volume of mid range to long range jump shots up that miss the amount that he does. Paolo Banchero gets a lot at the rim and a lot at the free throw line. He takes a lot of his shot. You talk about skill work. His shot is not where he thinks it is, and NBA teams just asking him to shoot these days because now the book is out. Hey, he's tough as hell. He's big. He can put the ball on the floor, but he can't shoot that thing. The NBA, like the Eastern Conference, this is why this year was so interesting to me. Got Indiana takes a step back, or you think would take a step back with no Tyrese. You got Boston, which is a mess out there, even though they still, they got that crazy man as their head coach, so they figure it out. But there's so many second tier teams that could take a little sniff. I don't believe in New York, and I'm never going to believe in Cleveland because they got two little people in the backcourt. Until that changes, and also the force feeding of responsibility to Evan Mobley offensively, where it's like, hey guys, he can be a max player just doing the shit that he does on the defensive end. The Bulls have put themselves in a nice little conversation of, okay, we can get back on par with the Atlantas and the Orlandos and the Indianas that
I
lapped
like
us
it.
a
I
couple of years
like
ago.
Atlanta. I like it.
Sure.
I mean, Quinn is running some fun stuff.
He's great. He's a great coach, man.
He's
a
really
great
good.
coach.
I know you got a couple of minutes left here. I want to get to the showdown because I'm including you both in my showdown question that we do at the end of every show. Bernstein, why don't you start with yours and I'll get to mine and we'll just try to rattle through this.
All right. Are we doing the music, Maddie? Hello?
No, I don't know. Just go ahead. We're right on time. There it is. All right. It's a long build. There.
All right. So this is for both you guys as well. What I'm going to do is just go through every year since 2000, and you have to name me the player on the Bulls who scored the most 30-point games that season. And I'm not saying like if there's a repeat name, I will skip other years. Because there are a bunch of repeat
on what
names.
team? Okay.
All right, 2000-2001 season. All right, can you guys name
Elton
that one?
Brand.
No, this is the hardest one on there. He had 8 30-point games.
That wasn't Ron Mercer year, was it?
It was Ron Mercer.
Jeez.
Oh, my guy. Huh? That
Mercer.
way Nouveau. That's the first game I actually covered was his first game as a Bull.
That man could not wait to get the paper score sheet in his hand when he got back to the locker room. That is a score sheet guy. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
01, 02, and 02, 03 are the same guy. In 02, he had 8. In 2003, he had 14 of these games.
Is that Brand?
No.
Chris Anstey.
Artest?
No.
0102. Jamal J.
102.
Jesus. Why are we even watching them then?
I don't know.
Jalen Rose.
Jalen!
Okay.
Oh, still to this day, the greatest Gibson Steakhouse entrance I've ever seen in my life. He had a Peyton Manning throwback on with a big white furry Kangol, and they were like, "Right this way, Mr. Rose." I'm like, "That's a guy who wants a steak right there."
Are you sure he wasn't applying for a score job sitting out there in the front lobby?
Might as well.
Okay.
Might as well. Yeah.
All right. 04. This is a one-off year, and his name was already mentioned once in this pod, and just kind of bounced around the league for a while. Really good player.
Not Eddie
Score.
Robinson.
Just a score. Pure score.
Oh, not E-Rob.
Salmons. No, it wasn't E-Rob.
Brad Miller, 04. No, Brad wasn't there.
Better. Like better all time, I would say. This like pure scorer just got buckets forever.
I forgot buckets forever.
And played with the Bulls.
Oh, yeah.
04? I give up.
I don't know.
Jamal Crawford.
Oh, he said Jamal Crawford. Okay.
Not bad.
I said he was mentioned earlier. All right,
Okay.
05,
You're right.
05 through 09 are the same guy.
05 through 09.
So it's 5 straight years.
Is it Heinrich?
Nope.
BG.
Ben
No.
Gordon.
Oh, that's right.
There it
That's
is.
right. That's right. BG.
And then
yeah.
2010 through 2012, same guy 3 times. This should be pretty easy right here.
Derek.
Yep. And then 2013 and 2014, there's one guy that tied both years. So that like there are a bunch of names right here. Because in 2013 there were only
Jimmy.
2. Nope, not Jimmy. He was 2015 through 2017. So I'll do that one.
Okay.
But this is kind of the dark ages because this is when Rose was hurt.
After Derek before Jimmy. Ooh, Nate Robb. Marco
Nate Robb was
Bellinelli?
2013, not 2014 though. But Nate Robb was tied in 2013 with 2. And then there are 3
This is when
guys.
Ooh, this is
Yeah,
Joe.
Nope.
Luol.
Nope. Luol
Son of
Deng
a
had
bitch.
1 30-point game. The guy that did it both years was Carlos Boozer. And
Oh.
DJ Augustine also had a 30-point game in 2014.
Let's go.
Yeah, of course
Let's
he
go.
did.
Tim's getting little people paid. Let's get it.
JL3 out there.
Oh my God, Mike James.
All right, we already got 2015 through 17 with Jimmy Butler. 2018, we actually talked about him a good amount during this podcast.
2018. When did that's pre-Zach?
No, this was Zach's first year, but he was hurt.
Lowry.
Larry Markkinen.
Larry Markkinen.
And then Zach LaVine for the next 3 years, and then the guy after was the other one in that
DeMar.
case. DeMar, and then the last 2 years were Zach and DeMar as well. So,
all right,
call it that. Not a
And
surprise
that's
Kobe
why the
White
Bulls
didn't
have
get it
been
last year.
500 over the last decade.
Okay, now we're gonna.
Right.
This is real quick. We always used to make fun of Jason for he has multiple college teams that are considered his teams. Obviously, there's Southern Illinois, but ever since Ashraf Amaya and Chris Carr were done playing, so we can't count them. So Jason's other two teams are Northwestern and Michigan.
Okay.
So I'm asking you right now, including two ways. First, name all former Northwestern players currently in the NBA.
Nick Martinelli, that's an easy one.
I don't.
Is it Martinelli? No,
No.
Butch Barnheiser. Sorry.
Right,
That's who I meant
correct.
to say.
Correct.
I got them confused.
That's
Two
one.
Scrappy white guys.
That's one. They're all in two-way contracts.
All of them are on two-way.
There's two more.
Bowie?
Nope.
Oh, God. Vic Law isn't in the league anymore.
Nope.
Scotty
Nope.
Lindsay? No.
Jesus. You already got me beat.
Are they recent?
Evan Eschmeyer.
One I've never heard of. The other is the son of a great player.
Oh, Pete Nance.
Yes. Pete Nance is on a two-way with the Bucks, and this last guy, I've never heard of
I
him.
saw that recently.
Have you ever heard of Pat Spencer?
Yes.
Yes!
Yes. Oh, I would have gotten that.
Golden State.
Yes.
I would have gotten that.
Okay, Pat
He wore
Spencer.
like number 65.
All right, now, fire away real quick, and we'll be done. The 13 former Michigan players currently on NBA rosters.
All right. Going to see one tonight in Jordan Poole.
Yep.
Danny Wolf.
Yep.
Is Trey Burke still in the league? I don't think so.
No, Danny Wolf.
Oh,
A blessing on your head.
Caleb Houston.
Caleb Houston of the
And Jet
Hawks.
Howard.
Jet
Jesus
Howard of the
Christ.
Magic.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, God. These are.
Yeah.
This.
Yep. There's some good
Brutal.
players. One was mentioned already.
I mean, Jamal Crawford isn't playing anymore.
I know that. That this guy was mentioned.
Dad.
Anything? Anybody?
I got
there's-
nothing.
They're brothers on the same team.
They're brothers.
Because they're brothers.
Brothers on the same team?
They're brothers of another mother on the same team. Same
Yeah.
mother.
On the same
And-
squad.
Yes. That,
Well, the Antetokounmpos didn't go to Michigan. I know that.
no, these.
Jesus.
They are Europeans, they are Germans, these are...
Wagners.
The
Oh, the
Wagners.
Wagners.
Jawohl.
Oh.
Jawohl. Franz and Moritz. Wagner.
Should have gotten that one. How did I get Jet Howard and Caleb Houston before
I was about to
Franz and
say.
Mo Wagner?
All right,
Yo, that's-
there's some good ones here, too. All right, these are the ones you did not get. You did not get Colin Castleton of the Magic, Musa Diabate
Yeah.
of the Hornets.
Yes. Yes.
Pelicans center, you'll see him tonight, Jason.
Nope.
Hunter Dickinson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Two-way.
Let's
Transferred
not
to
forget,
Kansas.
not forget Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
Still playing.
Nobody
Portal
said
makes it harder now, though.
nobody said Isaiah Livers of the
Livers.
Livers.
Livers of the Suns.
Livers.
Not
Did I,
Deuce
Tim Hardaway Jr.
Mm-hmm.
of
You
the
already
Nuggets,
said
and lastly
that.
Duncan Robinson.
Oh.
No, probably probably one of the better players on here, Karis LeVert.
Yeah. Oh, there
Karis.
was a chirp the other night with Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert was talking some shit.
What'd he say?
To Jonathan Kuminga. It might have been last year actually, but it was just a hot mic. And Trae Young was just like, "Everybody, calm down, come on, guys." And Karis LeVert goes, "You ass, bro," to Jonathan Kuminga. And Draymond goes, "You've been traded effing 7 times."
It's real.
All right. As this has been Jason Goff, this was an absolute delight. Thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you.
the time to
Thank you.
join organizations win championships. And maybe as the season wears on, we will do it again.
All right. Anytime, gentlemen. I truly appreciate you guys. Thank you.
And you. That is Jason Goff. That is Jason Bernstein. I'm Dan Bernstein. Don't forget to subscribe, like, rate, do all of the things, and really appreciate the amount of you that have come out and joined us here so far as we have resurrected Organizations Win Championships on 312 Sports. Thanks to Maddie for producing, and we will catch you next week.
Organizations Win Championships, a Chicago Bulls podcast with Jason and Dan Bernstein on 312 Sports.